guys are ballers.
And where are they? They are ballers, eh? So.
See, my guys are ballers.
We know they are ballers. What next?
Okay, I think we should do this. Now, do you know I Believe I Can Fly?
Yes.
You know how to sing the song? Now, let's hear you do the song.
I believe I can fly. Some of my guys are ballers.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, thanks for tuning in. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my affordable, everyday, basic B. I've already prepped my skin. I use the Rosehip Plus Organic Hydrating Day Cream, and then I've sealed it in with pure rosehip oil. The foundation I'm going to be using is the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation in the shade F13.5. Now I know you're thinking, hey Rihanna, this looks kind of light still, but deep the colour of my neck. And it was at this point I was considering doing a voiceover because Dad thought silence was too much, like really? Anyways, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to blend out the foundation. I do prefer a brush rather than a beauty blender because it's quicker and I don't have time and patience to pound my whole entire face, and I do like the finish. Why do you want to vacuum now when I've now come to film? And I didn't plan on doing a voiceover, but I guess now I'm doing a voiceover. I'm still trying to compute why the vacuum is going, but anyway, low. Moving on to concealer, Revolution again. It's the Conceal and Define Concealer to match the foundation in the shade C13. Don't watch that, it's upside down. Lol, allow me, please. I apply this in a tribal pattern. Basically, all the shaded parts and discoloured parts of my face, I use the concealer to colour correct little. I do prefer to use the beauty blender to blend out my concealer because it's easier to reach the corners of my eyes. I've tried a brush before and it looked dead, so I don't do that anymore. So I just blend that out, as you can see. I've just sped it up so you don't have to watch it too long, but sometimes I find it's kind of therapeutic to watch people blend out their foundation.
Check it.
Then to highlight under my eye, I go in with the same concealer in a lighter shade. I'm using C12, which is quite pink in undertone, but I use a powder to set it and it evens it out quite nicely. Again, blending out with a beauty blender. To set the highlighted areas of my face, I'm using the Sunkissed Hello Sunshine Matte Bronzer. I got mine from Savers, if any of you guys were wondering. I also use a beauty blender under my eye to set the powder. To prevent lumps of powder from forming on my eye, I swirl the beauty blender in the powder first, then I tap it on the back of my hand before I touch my face. This just helps the coverage to be more even. Then go in with a small fluffy brush in a circular motion to set the crease under my eye and my eyelids also, because those areas are hella crease prone, and because I wear glasses, I like to make sure that that part of my face is set. To set the rest of my face, I'm using the MUA Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder in the colour Neutralizing Apricot with a large fluffy brush. I then blow up my cheeks to open up the areas of my mouth that have creases and lightly sweep, again in circular motion. Now it's brow time. It's my favourite part of my routine, to be honest, because I look like a fish without eyebrows at this point in life, but it's fine. I use a spoolie brush to brush up my hairs. I'm going to use a small angled brush. It's quite firm, and the product I'm going to be using is the Makeup Forever Aqua Brow, and I'm using the shade 30. So in short strokes, I fill the bottom line first, then I push the product through my brows. I don't use any more product, I just use what's left and blend that through. I do brush through with a spoolie as I go to prevent like a brick brow, because that's not cute. Then later on, to try and mimic hairs at the beginning of my brows, I roll the spoolie away from my hairs and move upwards to move the product to give the illusion of hair and fade the beginning for a more natural look as well. Then using a small angled brush with firm bristles also, I then use the same C13 concealer to clean and highlight my brows. If my brows are freshly plucked, then this doesn't usually take me that long, but as you can see, they'd be a little unkept. I had to recreate the shape and go over some hairs to neaten them. I do also go above my brows because I like the chiseled look, and I take time to blend it out because we're not sporting the halo brow look. Sometimes I do have to go back and fix with the Aqua brow. As you can see, like there was a little awkward dip, so I'm just filling that back in. To help the blending, I use my Real Techniques flat foundation brush to do that. using a clear brow gel that I actually got from Primark, and I brush through the heads to add texture. And now we contour. I'm using a sleek contour palette in the shade Dark and an angled fluffy brush. I find the hollows of my cheek and just add a little definition to my already prominent cheekbones, but hey. I also go under my jaw, around my hairline and under my nose. Highlighter is a must for me, so for every day I use the Gold Sugar 2 Rose Gold palette, and taking the 2 gold shades I highlight. I use the darker of the 2 first over my whole cheekbone, and then the lighter one at the highest points of my cheekbones to add depth in my highlighter, and I find that works quite well. I use a fluffy brush to do this. I kind of buff it so there isn't like just a strip of shine, like it just looks like I haven't blended it properly, and the circular motions prevents a harsh line. I then use a combo of the 2 highlighters to highlight my inner corner, my cupid's bow and my nose, like just in between my eyes and the bottom part of my nose. I also hit the little brow bone that I do have as well at this point. I swapped to a small eyeshadow brush to do this.
Check it.
Then taking a brown pencil, I draw back my beauty spot on my nose to define it. Moving on to the lips, I'm using a matte nude pink lipstick. I think it's by MUA. I then take a brown liner and outline my lips and blend the 2 together until I'm happy with the shade. To set everything and prevent the powdery look, I then use the Revolution Pro Supreme Matte Finishing Spray. I then use something to fan my face. At this point I realised that the gold foil kind of looked pink, so I was trying to do model golden sun melanin vibes. I had it left over from one project that I was doing low, but I wasn't ready to dash it away yet, so I just had it in my room. But anyways, I spray it all over my face, sides and all, and I just fan it until it's dry. Now I do my mascara. I'm using the Maybelline Snapscara. I think it's actually waterproof. I like the curved one on this, so it fits my little beady eye. But first, my eyelashes are kind of straight, so I curl them first and give them 2 pumps, and then I go in with the mascara. I blink as well as I'm applying the mascara to help push my lashes upwards so they dry, lifted. I do 2 coats of mascara. And that, guys, is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, homies.